What the Vice President basically said, and I will say it in raw terms, the taxes that this man stole from the country, only what we know so far, could have built 15,000 houses. He stole from the people of this country 15,000 houses.
Daily duplicity from Mr. President. I'm sure by now, my Guyanese brothers and sisters, both home and abroad that are locked in, can clearly see the double standards and the duplicity of our government. I cannot believe it that Mr. President, less than 6 months after Mr. Azad Muhammad would have shown text messages where he messaged Mr. President and told him that he wanted to bring in a Lamborghini Aventador and it was going to cost $75 million. Say, Mr. President, Mr. Azad Muhammad then forwarded a message and said he wanted to pay the taxes, $50 million in taxes. And then this man have a message, allegedly, that same President Ali that now screaming to the top of his lungs how much Azad Muhammad defrauded this nation and stole, told the man that he should pay $25 million in taxes. I'm sure you guys remember that. The same president that screaming to the top of his lungs that Azad Muhammad stole from the people, same Mr. President was trying to tell the man, no, you don't have to pay $50 million. Pay $25 million in taxes. And then President Ali out on the podium shouting to the top of his lungs how this man stole 15,000 houses. Now, Mr. President, what about the Chinese companies and the Chinese in this country that we are told are able to operate in this country with land availability and tax holidays? What about those? What about that section of Guyana? Now, understand this. We are all for development. We are all for foreign companies investing into our country because our country develops. But we are just not for giving away our resources for 2% royalties and no cap on interest and all of these things that the oil contract is signed under. And we are hearing that for our gold field and for our gold, a lot of tax is being left on the table. We are being told that the monitor of our gold field and our gold, a lot of gold is being shipped. And we don't even, that we can't account for. Look at the bauxite company in Linden. These men made an increase in productivity of 214% last year. And gave the people, the workers there, 1% salary increase. Now that is not the Chinese allowed to basically rob the Guyanese. And to add to it, Mr. Azad Muhammad, right? He is not the only Guyanese that would have under-declared gold. There have to be others. There are many large gold giants in this country who will be doing the same exact thing, under-declaring gold, smuggling gold, and all of these things. The only reason you guys are fixated on Azad Muhammad is because he's become a thorn in your spine, because we've been able to use the system of oppression and financial depression that your government designed. This is why you guys are coming so hard after Azad Muhammad and want us to continually remember how much this man stole from us. But what about the others? Why hasn't the fact that this one has been uncovered, why hasn't the government did a deep investigation into all the people that are exporting gold on a large scale, and let's see how many of them are under declaring gold? Why doesn't the government do that? Because from all of those other people that we are sure are using the same system that Azad Muhammad would have used, it can't be him alone. Come on. Azad Muhammad is the only one. We don't know why. Because the government never made it your personal business to educate your people. Remember, you all were good buddy. Azad Muhammad and his father Nazir Muhammad would have helped you guys into government with donations and helped you with your campaigns. You man was driving his vehicles. You were using his security. So you were tight. So at that time, you never educated the nation about anybody under declaring gold or anybody smuggling gold. So we didn't know. But now, because this man has become a real threat to the PPP, because this man was able to captivate the hearts of Guyanese by giving even the few that you guys trying to underlook, the amount, the houses that he's been able to give them, and the development that he's added to many people quality of life. Because of these things, the people fall in love with the man, and now you are trying to take the love away from Azad Muhammad. And it's all because the people of Guyana are saying win for the win. But what I want my Guyanese brothers and sisters to realize Azad Muhammad, he cannot possibly be the only man that was on the declaring gold and smuggling gold. There has to be others. But the others never one time in their life decide to take some of the money which they are robbing us, according to the president, and invest back into the Guyanese brothers and sisters. Azad Muhammad is the only guy that has been doing it. Even if Azad Muhammad built 2 houses, he is still one of the only wealthy men that have been privileged to enjoy partition of the PPP that has actually looked back and say, let me invest some of this money into my brothers and sisters. At some point that he probably realized that they were struggling. Now this man, the one man that had a conscience, that have the humility, that have the decency to actually come back after enjoying the country wealth and actually invest in the people. This is the man you guys are trying to slander and shame and defame. This is the man, the same man that invested money into making sure that your government retained the seat for those 23 years that you guys were in power. That same Azad Muhammad you guys are trying to defame, all because you guys oppress the population, have people living on to bills, not able to afford the land in the country they bought because it's about 6 times our salaries, not able to afford a home because if you can't afford the land, you obviously can't get a home, that are financially subjected, that can barely afford to eat 3 square meals because you guys have the country like that, 48% living at and below the poverty line, 1,000 Guyana dollars per day. Back in 2015 and 2014 and 11, higher than 60% living at and below the poverty line on 1,000 Guyana dollars per day. People can't afford a transportation trying to get the children out of the boiling sun because your government would have done this to us. And then you ignored the unions on bread and butter issues, keeping back percentages at a time of our little increase, which is just a fraction of what you men earn. Because you have us like that, the people no longer have the time, the energy, the ears to listen and hear and even understand what you guys are saying. What the people saying? Bottom line is, numbers don't lie. Factual visuals don't lie. The people saw Azad Muhammad for a long time, an extended period, at least 3 years, giving back publicly. And then you know we are so sad. Your government issued a warning letter to prohibit the Mohammeds from being able to enter into schools and bring toys and kites and all of these things to those little babies who would have been born to marginalized parents who may not even be able to provide that experience for their child. So when we observe these things, Mr. President, it is why, no matter how much you guys shout, no matter how much you try to defame Mr. Muhammad, in a free, fair election, because remember, you guys also have a crowd that you guys made. You guys have a made-up crowd that you built your numbers using the wealth of this nation through fixed rate contracts and whatever other system you guys monopolize the country to shuttle money to people. And then you're making them believe as if your government is out of office, they would not be given the opportunity. So it's not no organic following your government has, but because you guys know in a free, fair election, a man that has no political mechanism behind him, a man that has no political experience, a man that has no experience as a politician, you guys know in a free, fair election, Azad Muhammad would beat you guys 7 days out of the week. This is why you see, instead of you men being able to have the people praise you, the general populace of Guyana praise you, you guys have to praise yourself. You guys have to convince even your own followers of what you were saying that you did. This is what neglect and marginalization of the electorate that you were supposed to serve does to a government. So brothers and sisters, you guys can see our president, the vice president, they are desperate because they're now realizing and coming to the realization that they ignored so many Guyanese while they were getting rich. Now they have an entire section of Guyana saying win for the win, and they're going to try to defame the character of Azad Muhammad at all costs, because that is the politics of the PPP, not good governance for all. This is an Eternity Enterprise presentation. Y'all stay safe.